Today we're looking at conservative activists get shot. Charlie Kirk. Let's get into it. It's kind of insane. You get shot for just saying things. You could hear the gunshot just echo. Wow. Yo. Imagine that. Why are they arresting this old guy? Alright, he can't be the shooter. The shooter's been caught. That's insane. I mean, you would think there's better security, but come on, it's like a college campus. They're not gonna have security everywhere he goes. Like for Trump, I get it, but for just any university, like just talking, you shouldn't have to have that many security guards and surrounding the perimeter, scanning the perimeter, or clearing it. What do they say? Screen the house, clear the house, sweep the house. There we go. Sweep. You shouldn't have to sweep the perimeter. Like you're just talking, but you know sometimes the other side or like some people they just can't handle their feelings, so they act on it. You know, you're supposed to handle your emotions.
Apparently, there's been a shooting. I don't know who's been shot. We are here live at Utah Valley State University.
Utah.
I don't know if that was shots or if that was fireworks.
Wow. We're gonna see who it is.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
They found him.
Got him.
The words
We
that
got him.
everyone has been waiting to hear. We are following breaking news overnight, roughly in front of thousands of
Wow.
people, as he was
Like, come on, he has a
Utah
family.
Valley University in Orem, Utah, as part of a college tour. I'll tell you how Robinson's family knew that they were living with the person now accused of a horrifying assassination. This is a breaking news edition.
That's
of On the
insane.
Case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Robinson.
And they look like any other person. Like you wouldn't know he's. You really don't know.
Breaking today, officials say a suspect in the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk is now in custody. President Donald Trump was the first to break that news to the world. The suspect has been identified as
What's with this year?
22-year-old Tyler Robinson. And here is the moment
22.
the governor of Utah made that announcement.
What were you doing at
On
22?
the evening of September 11th,
Not
a family
this.
member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This
Why would he
information
do
was
that?
relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI.
Utah.
Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt.
I want to know the
light-colored
motive.
shorts,
Like,
black
why?
hat with a white logo and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images.
Now, this major development comes after the FBI ramped up their investigation yesterday, releasing
FBI.
never-before-seen pictures and videos of the person of interest, including
That's
that
insane.
first one there that
Imagine
shows the
how
suspect
much-
the moment
Imagine how many
the suspect
cameras are
jumped
on you
off the
right
roof
now.
and fled the scene moments
Oh,
after
he's on the
shots
roof.
rang out. CBS climbed
Wait,
off
hold
this,
on.
including that first one there that shows
Wow.
the suspect the moment the suspected gunman climbed off the roof and fled the scene moments after. This morning he has CBS News
How'd he get
correspondent
down?
Carter
He just
Evans was
jumped?
at that press conference earlier this morning. He has the latest from Utah.
Wow, look, think about it. This year it was Trump, then it was United Health CEO, and now this guy. America's in trouble.
Learned a lot more information.
And why do they only catch them when they confess? If they don't confess, can they not find them?
Conference, and we learned that they have a lot of evidence against Tyler Robinson. Of course, They have the gun, which they had found the day before. It was hidden in a woody area. But we also learned during this press conference that the suspect had been communicating with his roommate on Discord about the gun.
Really?
And they say they
Discord?
looked at those messages, and he had actually asked his roommate to go retrieve the gun from that wooded area. So I asked the governor if there was a possibility that other people were involved in this. He said, no, not at this time. But he did say the investigation is continuing when I asked him if any other arrests could potentially be made. The other big question here is all these tips that were
How'd
coming
he
in.
get up there?
As of today, they got 11,000 tips.
Like,
And they
come
got
on.
an army of people.
You gotta have the location locked down. How do you just have people on the roof? Same as the Trump administration. How do you just have people on the roof? If you're like, I mean, you shouldn't live this way. We shouldn't live this way. Like, just walking around New York, you shouldn't need like 5 bodyguards following you around, but it's the world we live in. Like, how do you have someone on the roof and you
here
don't
to
know?
Follow up on them. Did one of those tips identify this individual? Were they closing in on him, or was it simply a matter of his father convincing him to turn himself in late last night? That's something we're
That's what I was just saying. Like, if he didn't turn himself in, will they really have found him?
going to get a better idea of over the weekend once they complete these charging documents, and next week when we have a preliminary hearing against him. Now, President Trump announced this news today. He was the one to break the news worldwide, and he says that he's hoping for a speedy trial, and he wants them to seek the death penalty in this case.
That's still a thing? I didn't even know.
Carter Evans, thank you. Let's go now to CBS News senior coordinating producer for the Crime and Public Safety Unit, Anna Schechter.
We've got new information about exactly what transpired after that late night press conference last. Those photos and confronted his son. Robinson's father recognized his son in those photos and confronted his son, according to law enforcement.
In what photos?
His son
Not in that.
And his son, Robinson's father, recognized press conference last evening. His father, Tyler Robinson's father, recognized his son in those photos and confronted his son, according to law enforcement sources. His son confessed, and his father convinced him to turn himself in.
What? Oh, I mean, it can't be that photo. If it was the video on the roof, how would you know? But this photo, probably. This is definitely.
Reached out to a youth pastor who knew someone in the U.S. Marshal Service, and that's how they very quickly took him into custody late last night. So all of this transpired overnight.
How you guys think they got him? You think they swatted his house? Like, just sweep the house, full military, SWAT, FBI?
Remind you, and we were talking about this earlier, Mugo. As of the press conference last night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. local.
All right, like, you look at someone, it's easy after the fact to look at him and be like, oh, he's insane. But if he was in everyday clothing, no one would know. Like, how would you know he's insane?
They still didn't even have a name pinned down as to the identification. But you're showing on your screen, this is actually really important video showing the suspect, or allegedly Robinson, climbing down off of the roof. And what's important about that video actually is that it shows the pre-planning. He knew exactly where he was going. It appeared to me when I saw that video that he knew how he was.
All right, maybe they're coming up with stuff. How do you know it's pre-planned? Maybe he's just winging it.
Was going to get down off of that roof, and he was able to flee. One thing I also want to note, we learned in that press conference that he had actually been communicating with his roommate, telling his roommate, you need to go retrieve.
Didn't they say this already?
Its roommate showed messages, those electronic messages, to law enforcement overnight. So lots of new information that we've got, and of all this is going into those charging documents that we expect to see early next week.
And Anna, you mentioned the suspect talking to his roommate about the rifle he used in the shooting death of Charlie Kirk. How important is that rifle, and what evidence will be crucial in this case down the line?
Probably got it illegally.
Very important, and they will be taking fingerprints if they can to match them. Now that they have Robinson in custody, they will fingerprint him try to do that match. That's important to prosecutors to sort of place.
You know what's very dangerous? Like Charlie Kirk says it too. He says his goal is to talk with people. And when you stop talking, that's when violence happens. That's when people keep to themselves. They think the other side is evil. I'm like quoting him, but not exactly. But he's like, that's when violence happens. When someone goes silent, something's about to happen. Like, why don't people just talk it out? While just keeping it inside and going for violence, like this guy.
Him as having his hands on that gun. They also have the surveillance video. They're trying to, they want to pinpoint where you see him carrying the gun. It was interesting when we looked at that, those surveillance images that were released earlier in the day yesterday. He was wearing a backpack, and it appears that he must have been able to collapse that gun into that backpack. So I'm expecting a little bit more information about that and how he was able to unfold that gun.
This announcing that the suspect has been arrested, he also was let go. So what comes next here when it comes to in terms of the attention? Oftentimes when we hear cases like this, you also hear about, well, this jury knows that this happened. That affect what a potential juror.
Reminds me of the Luigi Mangione case. There was so much attention on that manhunt. And, this case, there might even be more attention because there was so much video circulating on social media of the actual assassination.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like JFK 2.0. That's insane.
Jury pool that knows nothing about this is going to be challenging. All they need to do is find a pool of people for that jury that they feel can, regardless of what they've seen in the past, make measured, reasonable decisions about judgment.
Oh, so they have to find people that never seen the video? I mean, almost everyone has social media. Everyone has technology now. You have to go in like the mountains. You have to find some Amish people. They're like, hey, you have to come in for jury duty.
Based on the evidence presented. So that's going to be the key in a future jury selection.
Yeah. Anna Schechter, as always, President Trump was the first to break the news of a suspect being in custody for the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Here's a bit of what the president had to say earlier.
I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job. Well, I hope he's going to be found guilty, I would imagine, and I hope he gets the death penalty. What he did, Charlie Kirk was the finest person. He didn't deserve this.
And now let's bring in CBS News Executive Director for the White House and Politics, Vin Gomez.
Wow.
What else did the president have to say during that interview on Fox News?
Yeah, Mugo. He also quotes that organization that Charlie Kirk had founded, that she had wants to keep it going. It's a political organization that helped Trump to victory last year. Kirk actually helped him with TikTok as well, and asked, interestingly enough, if Kirk would want revenge. Trump said Kirk would want revenge at the ballot box. Very critical point there. But he did illustrate just how close of an ally and friend Kirk was to him and his cohorts at the White House, and really showcase just how critical he was to helping the president win last year in 2024.
And Finn, the president and the vice president's casket to Arizona from it.
Yeah, it was.
That's crazy. People think like, oh, if I just eliminate him, it'll solve all the problems. If you don't like him, it's not going to solve anything. You know how much power the government has? The government has insane amounts of power. Why? Because, well, it's your tax dollars, but whoever has more power wins. This guy, it's not going to solve anything. And for that extreme of a measure is insane.
The really powerful moment, that the visuals of the vice president and the second lady, along with Erica Kirk, escorting that casket, Charlie Kirk's casket, from Utah to his home state of Arizona.
Wow.
Arizona, where the Kirk family resides. You saw Usha Vance, the second lady, walking hand in hand with Erica as they deplane from Air Force Two. And also it just shows again, like, just how close both the president and the vice president were to Charlie Kirk. And it goes back, especially with Vice President Vance, ahead of the 2021 cycle, when Vance jumped in to run, was a big, and also when during the Veep stakes last
Air Force
in
Two.
those
Wow, he got
crucial
flown
meetings,
on
with,
what, the vice
Trump
president's
advisors who really pushed
plane?
for
Air
JD
Force One
Vance.
is
JD
president's.
Vance in a tweet this morning, the suspect, he was thankful. The guy, Charlie Kirk's again.
Yeah, and I want to pivot to a different question. A lot of news came out of that. What update did he?
Yeah, there was a lot of news in that interview, especially, of course, at the top. He was going to send National Guard troops to National Guard troops.
All right, I think now they're just yapping. But the U.S. government allows for freedom of speech. But apparently now you have to watch what you say. Because if someone is more extreme than you, someone is mentally unstable, someone is insane, they'll do some things that you don't like, right? They'll go out of their way just to mess you up. That's the world we live in. And it shouldn't be that way. Like, just words and talking shouldn't be able to offend someone. Like, yeah, you can use it for harm and you can use it for good, but it shouldn't get you to that point. You should have the ability to self-regulate. And that's what I feel like that's what the Democrats or the liberal, I don't follow too much into it, but it's like gendering stuff. It's like, oh, you have to say this to make me feel good. You can't say that. You can't misgender me. You can't do this. You can't do that. It's like, oh, you are in charge of controlling my feelings. I have no control of my feelings. You get to control my feelings. So don't say those. It's opposite. It's flipped. You should be able to control what you feel, how you feel, and they can say whatever they want. How does it affect you? By words. It's just sounds. What is it? It's literally sounds, how you articulate your mouth, the vibrations, you hear it. Just pretend you don't understand it. How does it get you up to that much of a point where you have to go out and get revenge on them? That's insane. But that wraps it up for today. That's Charlie Kirk and his assassinator getting killed. Or no, assassinator getting caught. But until next time, I'll see you.